Resistance bands have become a staple in home workouts, offering a versatile and convenient way to build strength. However, the effectiveness of resistance bands can be greatly increased with a few accessories. For example, I like to use a door anchor. What this does is it allows me to change the angle of attack so I can do a greater variety of exercises. And also, as a quadriplegic, I don't have great grip, so I use my active hands D-rings and a carabiner to take that out of the equation and to focus on the exercise at hand. So when I saw that there was handles specifically designed for resistance bands, I was intrigued. Could these handles help me with my fitness routines? In this review, we take a closer look at these, the Resistance Band GymBars by Robus Athletic, a simple tool that might enhance your resistance band workouts. When I first looked at these, I thought this is a very simple design, but it is also made from really high quality materials. The ones here that Robus sent me are a glass fiber reinforced polymer, but they also do have aluminium ones as well. The material feels very nice, and having used them, it's a lot nicer than having to hold onto the resistance band itself. I've been combining them with my active hand gripping aids and found that they are very comfortable to use, and although they're not grippy, I felt like I didn't have any issues when using them. The design features a slit down the middle, which means you can put the resistance bands in, which is a super simple setup, and I've certainly found that I've had no issues with getting these on and off. And I've also found that resistance bands don't pop out when I'm using them either. The primary function of these is to provide a functional yet comfortable grip when you're doing resistance band exercises. And in that regard, they do exactly that. I found them particularly great when I'm doing any sort of pressing movements, whether that's a chest press or overhead press. The design of it means I'm getting less strain on my hands and my wrist than I would do if I was just using the resistance bands, which means at the end of a workout, I felt like I've had less pain in those areas. Having the GymBars doesn't really add any extra exercises that you can do to your workout routines, but they do offer a much nicer way of doing those exercises that you're already doing. Now, I don't use multiple bands often, but if I did need to and I wanted to increase my resistance by adding more bands, this I'd be able to do it a lot easier because I could slot more than one band in and do the exercise without having to fiddle around trying to hold multiple bands at once. When it comes to the GymBars, I've already mentioned that there's two different ones available. I've only used these ones, the glass fiber reinforced polymer version, but there are the aluminium version too. The aluminium ones are a little bit more expensive, and I would say that these ones do a great job, and I wouldn't necessarily see myself needing the upgraded. You can buy the GymBars in pairs, or you can buy a full set. In the full set, you'll get a door anchor, which I must say is a really nice design. It's very slim and very lightweight, which is great for traveling. And you also get 3 resistance bands of different intensity. Now, having used these, they are a great addition if you don't have resistance bands already. However, I personally prefer my rubber bandits ones that I've been using for years. I've tried lots of different types of resistance bands, and I always come back to the rubber bandits ones. So for me personally, I would only really get the handles and combine it with the resistance bands I'm already using. But that is just a preference thing, and if you did get the full set, I don't think you'd necessarily be disappointed with the bands included. At the moment, with the full set, they are including access to the app for a temporary period. However, I would say if you're a wheelchair user, you may be better off signing up to my website over at Adapt to Perform, because I have specific resistance band exercises designed for us wheelchair users. And if you click on the link down below, you can get 50% off your first year. Now, there are some alternatives that you could use to this. One is a traditional handle like you would find on a cable machine. With this, however, you would have to use a carabiner, and that adds bulk. And for somebody who likes to travel a lot, this is a much smaller and simpler design for adding a handle to a resistance band. You could also use something like pipe insulation. I have tried this in the past, and whilst it is effective, I did notice that this was a lot more comfortable and I could put a lot more pressure through each push, which meant I could up the resistance. This is what I think are the pros of the GymBars. So the pros of this are that you get an ergonomic design that is very comfortable to hold. This reduces the strain on our wrists and our hands. The design of it is super durable, and I have no doubts this would last for a long time, even under heavy load. They work really well with my active hands gripping aids, which is always a positive. You could potentially put different types of resistance bands in, however they are designed for the loop bands, which luckily are the best bands on the market, so which makes these particularly great. And lastly, they are super lightweight and portable. I've managed to get it in my traveling bag and bring it here to South America, which adds to their versatility. And now for what I think are the cons. My first con is that they're not really necessary. They don't add any exercises to my resistance band routine. That is unless you go for the full set with the door anchor and the resistance bands, and you don't already have that. But the GymBars themselves don't offer any additional exercises to just using resistance bands alone. And that's my only real negative with this. Which brings me nicely to my conclusion. The GymBars themselves aren't really that necessary. They don't offer a lot of extra exercises, which is something I always look for in equipment, but what they do offer is a luxury experience. If you're somebody that uses resistance bands a lot, then these make it nice and comfortable and put less stress on your skin, on your hands, and less strain on your hands and wrists. So if you're somebody who uses the resistance bands a lot, these could be worth the investment. So in that regard, they do the job really well. Now you could get similar results if you already have other stuff lying around, as I already mentioned. But in terms of handles for resistance bands, these are the best options I've found yet. I think they're a good accessory and they are much nicer than just using resistance band by themselves. So it really depends on you whether you think this is something that you would use. And thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you have any extra comments, questions or concerns about the GymBars, let me know in the comment section down below. If you did like the video, hit that like button, and if you're new here or you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got more great reviews just like this one and lots more information for wheelchair fitness on this channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Are you ready to start your fitness journey? Then sign up now at adapttoperform.co.uk and get access to hundreds of workouts specifically for us wheelchair users.